The greatest prison that people live in is the fear of what other people think. What happened to me as a result of all the ridicule I went through is that I stepped out of the fear of what other people thought.
What's up, guys? I'm Lex,
And I'm Trex,
and this is Exploration Unknown.
where we explore the unknown. Or the known, however you want to look.
If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Either way, you can listen to us talk about it.
And
So,
then you want to research.
facts. So, today we are going to be discussing Raggedy Ann. I don't know about anybody else, but I know that for me, as a child, that thing freaked me the fuck out. I didn't like it. I didn't want nothing to do with it. It just, bad vibes.
I mean, in my household growing up, everybody looked like a Raggedy Ann doll, alright? It was a bunch of fucking gingers just sitting.
See, these dolls are so creepy. Like, I'm sure you've seen the pictures and stuff, and they feel sketchy. Mm, uh.
The resemblance.
Okay, let me start with giving you guys the origin story, okay? So, in 2017, Facebook pages named The Truth About Vaccines and VacTruth.com shared memes promoting the notion that Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls were created as part of an anti-vaccination movement. Different versions of this claim have appeared as early as 2009, and the alternative health site Real Pharmacy published a 2014 article that linked Raggedy Ann with the death caused by, they said, a vaccination. In 1921, Johnny Gruel's 8-year-old daughter was vaccinated in school without her parents' permission. Between the time she became ill from the vaccination and her death a few months later, her body was completely limp like a rag doll. It was this sick vaccine-injured child that inspired Gruel to create the Raggedy Ann doll. This myth was hinted at by Wall Street Journal in February 2015. In general, the memes and articles advanced the claim that Raggedy Ann dolls were created by John Gruel in 1915 as a symbol of the dangers and deaths purportedly associated with vaccines. The rumor clearly has sticking power and regularly made the rounds on social media. And although aspects of it may be correct, the gist of the vaccination claims is easily disputed. Historians at doll enthusiast site dollkind.com noted that Gruel's proportioned purported creation of a dead and lifeless tribute to his daughter with X marks over the doll's eyes were absurd. And it goes on to describe it more. Like here it says Raggedy Ann has been historically associated with the anti-vaccination movement, and there is some truth and some fiction associated with this belief. The tragic truth that still wrenches our hearts to this day is that John Gruel's little daughter died after being given a mandatory smallpox vaccine at school. The child was just 13 years old and her loss was devastating to John Gruel, who then became a proponent of the anti-vaccination movement. However, there's an absurd school of thought that asserts that the Raggedy Ann doll was created as a limp and lifeless looking creature to symbolize Gruel's dead child. This is certainly not the case, and Gruel's registered patent of the Raggedy Ann doll character occurred right around the time of Marcel's death. Evidence indicates that he had been working on perfecting Raggedy Ann prior to the tragedy in his family.
I just read something very disturbing.
What?
So this doll, Raggedy Ann, is associated with Annabelle. Okay, and it supposedly started with a nurse. Her mother gave her this life-sized version of, and not Annabelle, but Raggedy Ann. Here's the picture of the life-sized Raggedy Ann.
Ew.
Okay, that is the life size, and if you can see it, I don't know if you'll be able to. If you can see it right there on the pants leg. Oh man, started doing its own thing. It jumped hella. But on the pants legs at the bottom of them, I copy this picture and send it to you. You can see like blood stains at the knees. This doll was practically a witness to a family murder. This doll seeing a father slice his wife's and daughter's throat for no reason. He had no reason. So when she got gifted this said doll, her and her roommates were other nurses, and they started noticing strange things starting to happen. Like the doll would be in different positions from where they left it, and started finding random notes in the house written in child handwriting. There was no children in the house. And then later, they got real skeptical, so they started to look for mediums to come in and see what was happening. Comes to find out that a ghost of a child called Annabelle Higgins, aged 7, had died in the local area and wanted to ask if she could have permission to possess the doll. That shit gives me chills, bro, because spirits and shit. Like, it's not good. It gave me the chills. Like, could you imagine? What kind of shit is that?
See, okay. Depending on your view of spirits and otherworldly phenomenons such as that, some people probably would be like, no, I don't believe that. I 100% believe that could be true because I do believe in spirits. But do I believe that is a dead little girl trying to possess that doll? No. That's a motherfucking demon. The whole ass demon.
I mean, the possibilities are endless though. Like this little girl could have been lost in limbo. You know what I'm saying? In purgatory, she could have been here. You know what I'm saying? And she wanted to spend her days in that doll to be loved again, and be center of attention again. Could have been anything. That it could have been harmless. Is what they thought. They thought it was going to be harmless, but the three nurses, they agreed to let Annabelle possessed this doll. Yeah, they did. They agreed, thinking the ghost of a child would be harmless. Yet, after meeting with the medium, things went from strange to worse. Spots of red were found on the doll that resembled blood. More troubling was the fact that Cal Rendell had been suffering nightmares about Annabelle and was physically attacked with several scratches in an empty room of that apartment. All of this led the troubled trio to contact the local Episcopal. I can't even pronounce that. I'm pulling a Lex card here. Uh, he's named Father Hagen, who in turn contacted his superior, Father Cook. Cook immediately got in touch with the famous and respected paranormal researcher Ed and Lorraine Warren. Which, if you watch the Paranormal Activities and what is that?
Is it Insidious?
Insidious. Yes, not paranormal. It was Insidious. Yes, they were in Insidious. The Warrens visited and examined the doll, confirming there was indeed an energy attached to the doll, but it was not a spirit of a young girl. It was a demonic spirit
Fucking
who,
demon.
That's not the toy, but one of the people living at that apartment. The doll was merely a conduit to something darker and sinister. That is I don't even want to possess no type of dolls. All right, none, zero, zilch. Like fuck all that. They could keep it. I was thinking about buying a Chucky doll. I changed my mind. I don't even want to no more after hearing this shit. This is mind-boggling. The story itself was shared publicly by the Warrens and is soon understandably made headlines.
But it goes back to what I said before. Demons. Don't ever give permission to nothing to possess your shit.
They don't want to possess your shit. They want to possess your shit, your body.
Like, at the end of the day, if you are going to give something permission to possess something in your possession, 9 times out of 10, it's only looking to do that so it can get further. This is why we die in movies, y'all. This right here. Y'all know what I'm talking about. This right here is why we always the first to die.
Why do they run up the stairs? Why is that the first place to go? When you run past the front door,
Or go up the stairs and go out onto the roof.
and do this weak, pathetic attempt to get off of the roof and injure themselves? Like, what kind of fucking... They need me writing movies. I promise you. It will be no people dying, all right? The killer will get killed. It'd be like a 10-minute movie, and people will be satisfied with that. They will live with that. They'll be content with that, all right? There's people tripping upstairs and shit and getting stupid. Just stupid.
I have the pulled up. It's from New Haven Register, and it's an article called Real Annabelle Story, shared by Lorraine Warren at Milford's Laurelton Hall. English ain't my strong suit. That was a struggle. That was a struggle for real. Anyways, the real Annabelle doll is locked in a lockbox at the museum, at Warren's Occult Museum. And this is in her home. That's still sketch to me. Like, why do you got all that in your house? Do you wanna die? Do you wanna
May-
die?
Maybe. I mean, look at the crocodile hunter.
I don't know. That just I would not go into that house. Seeing them one individually in separate places, okay, I can deal with that. But all that shit in one house? You having a fucking afterlife party at your house 24/7. Anyways, the doll in the movie is a frightening looking porcelain doll in a child's image with long hair. The real Annabelle is a plain looking classic Raggedy Ann doll with red yarn for hair. But the Raggedy Ann doll at Warren's Museum is no ordinary doll. According to the Warrens, it is inhabited by an inhumane spirit, and there is a warning on the glass case not to touch. One museum goer who ignored the warnings and taunted the doll died in a motorcycle crash shortly after being told to leave the museum. The movie is a prequel to The Conjuring, based on the Warrens' real-life case involving the doll. The couple had a lot of input in the first movie, but Annabelle is fabricated. Warren, who mostly along with her late husband has investigated more than 10,000 cases of paranormal activity, presented the talk and slideshow of cases at the Catholic Girls High School with the help of her son-in-law, Tony Spera, also a paranormal investigator. Warren, now 87, soft-spoken and sweet to all those who engage her in conversation at a meet and greet, said presenting at that word I can't say was like going home. Because she attended the school in her late 1930s but had to leave because of illness. She said her presentations are in extra demand during September and October because the fascination with the subject is heightened during Hallows Eve, as she calls it. But she is a Roman Catholic, and her husband often work with priests and other clergy because they rely on blessings and sometimes exorcisms to resolve cases. Obviously, I mean, it showed that in the movie. And she says that the power of faith has gotten her out of many scary situations because it's often about fighting the demonic with goodness. Holy water is a tool. I really honestly thought that was bullshit. And I'm probably gonna have people come at me for that because they're gonna be like, "Oh, you didn't believe in holy water?" No, I didn't believe in fucking holy water. What? What? Was I supposed to know that the fucking water is genuinely holy and that's not just some made up bullshit? How am I supposed to know that? Okay, I ain't never been possessed. Ain't nobody threw holy water on me and I start fucking sizzling and shit. Like, oh god. But she has been, since the age of 7 or 8, she has been seeing lights or auras around people, but she was afraid to tell her parents for fear that they would think she was crazy. So she spent many years praying about it because she didn't want to be different, she said. But I think this is basically just talking about her at this point.
You want to see the picture of the guy who is like the inventor of the Raggedy Ann doll?
Yes.
They were built different back in the day. They were built way different. Way different.
He look a little sus.
They're
I'm just, what do you think? Do you think
going, I'm saying like just reading the shit that I read about. I believe that the Annabelle thing could have been real. That this demon portrayed to be this innocent 7-year-old girl because they were women. They were easily influenced or manipulated, or that gullible and didn't know too much about the demonic and spiritual realms, so they were easily convinced to do it. Um, so I could believe that. I think that could have definitely been it. Like the demon was smart enough to be like, hey, I'm this 7-year-old girl. I just want to play. I just want to be loved on. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be in this doll so y'all can love on me and all this shit. And then that's like, yeah, sure, you can do it. Fuck it, why not? Right? You're a little girl. And he's like, haha, you've fallen for my trap card. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh,
straight through right to jail?
that shit. That's what it could be for me, man. Like I could believe that wholeheartedly. Like I didn't know that though. Like these people was getting scratches and attacked in empty rooms and shit. Like, can you imagine walking into your apartment and your roommates getting tossed around the fucking room by nothing? You just looking around like, what do you do at that point? Do you just quietly exit like you didn't see shit, or do you be like, the power of Christ, the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you, and this thing turns and looks at you like, is it really? It's not that compelling. Like, uh, movie buffs will understand where I got that from.
Okay, so here it says that after her husband passed, her husband Ed, that her and Sparrow, and I'm not exactly sure, I don't think it mentioned exactly who that is. I'm not seeing, yeah, I'm not seeing anything that says who that is. But they continued to work together after her husband passed.
So they
And,
Lorraine dead too, huh?
huh?
They both dead.
Yeah. But it says that she talked about the real life Annabelle story and emphasized that of all the items in the family's occult museum, that doll is what I'd be most frightened of. Curators believe that the doll has the power to kill, according to the film on the Annabelle case. Nothing Noting the case of the motorcyclist who died after leaving the museum, she said, "Never take things like this lightly, thinking it's a joke." According to a clip that she showed, the real life Annabelle story began in 1970 when a 28-year-old nurse received the Raggedy Ann doll as a birthday gift from her mom. I think that's the one that you were reading. And it explains like all of that. And okay, so it explains like this whole story that you told. But it says the Warrens took an interest in the case and contacted the women. They came to the immediate conclusion that the doll itself was not, in fact, possessed, but manipulated by an inhuman presence. According to the Warrens' website, which goes to say, truly the spirit was not looking to stay attached to the doll. It was looking to possess a human host. Fucking told y'all. Quit doing that stupid shit and letting shit fucking fuck with shit. Stop it. But then it says that they took the doll and Ed Warren told his wife that they should avoid the highway because he was going to be a rough ride home. And he was right. At some point he had to sprinkle the Annabelle doll with holy water to calm it down. Could you imagine trying to transport something like that back to your house and you're having to stop on the side of the road and throw some holy water on it? Like, what?
Never will happen.
Like, and they said that they don't really care that the producers of Annabelle fabricated the story in the way that they did because it still serves the purpose of warning the public about demons. But everyone in the audience who believes in God must also believe there's a devil. She said, and ghosts, devils, demons are all real. So,
Poopy Johnson.
for those of you who don't know, because we've not talked about it on here, your girl has a ghost, and we call him EJ, aka Poopy Johnson. And you know what? Come to think about it, that's a really fucked up name for my ghost. That's real bad.
He seemed chill with it, so we went with it.
That is true.
Went with it. He cool. He's content. Has he been acting out lately?
I've had no issues. No, actually, not last night, but the night before last, I had put my phone down, and rolled over facing towards Lola to go to bed, which I face the wall when I go to sleep. Out of nowhere, I hear this like man's voice in my ear, right in my ear. And I could not make out what it said, but I mean, it sounded like it was right here. Cold chills went over my whole fucking body. I jumped up and was like, uh we're not doing that. And then I cut American Dad on, and I sat there holding my dog and my pillow until I felt comfortable to lay back.
Fucking poopy. You need to chill, bro.
Yeah,
Man.
that's the first time I've had an interaction like that, and that freaked me the fuck out. Because I was like, look, now you got me looking over my shoulder and shit, like, where you at, PJ? Don't pull no fuck shit.
And why dude look like, hold on.
Who?
Ed Warren. Why dude look like fucking Joe from off of fucking Impractical Jokers?
Let me see. Oh my god.
Uncanny.
That's sketch.
Hmm.
Oh, we need to know. We need you to see this podcast somehow. Let us know. Related. Or
Are you really Ed Warren?
we're manifesting here that we get acknowledgement from somebody that big. You gotta put it out there. What?
Yo, I'm saving this.
Honestly, I think that is truly all I have for this episode.
I'm good. I'm good with what we did.
While I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and plug the socials. Our Instagram is _ exploration unknown _ our email is exploration unknown 2022. We can be found on YouTube now at Exploration Unknown Podcast. And yeah, if you guys want to email us with stories about your ghostly experiences or your thoughts about the Annabelle doll, we could try to do an extra episode where we read out listener tales. It's whatever y'all want to do.
All on you.
Yep. Well, I guess we're out of here.
What a perfect time to do this too. It's like right near Halloween, like Halloween season. Let me hear it. It's great. Been real.
Bye.
And it's only when you do it that you realize what a prison you lived in before. And what it gave me was a personal understanding of how easy it is for a few to control the many.
Style. Style is the answer.